There was a girl who grew up in the suburbs. Hannah was her name, or maybe it was Kate or Emma. It wouldn't have made a difference. Her name was the least interesting thing about her. She was never fond of her name anyway. It was too bland, too boring. The girl's father was never home. His work was what he called demanding, but he made a lot of money, so she was supposed to be thankful. And her mother drank a lot, but she was quite pretty, and she was on the PTA board and ran some charities, so the girl was supposed to look up to her mother. And her father and mother argued often about his business trips and her wine collection. He'd buy her a new necklace, and all was forgiven. And the girl's brother was headed to the military academy, and he made all A's, and her parents were very proud, and she was supposed to be too, but there didn't seem to be much room for praise in his shadow. And the girl had a lot of friends, and she found them shallow and vain, and they talked about which college they wanted to go to, even though they didn't really want to work. They wanted to find a man like her father with money and a house with a fancy wine cellar. And the girl had a boyfriend, and she liked him very much, and her parents liked him too. He had what her father called potential, and she found him to be handsome but quite boring. Though she couldn't break up with him, he didn't do anything wrong. She wished he'd ask her about herself, and she was quite sad, and she didn't know why. Her father made a lot of money, her mother was quite pretty, her friends were popular, and her boyfriend had much potential, but she didn't care. And she kept a journal under her bed, hidden beneath the report cards and Louis Vuitton purses and family Christmas photos, and she opened the first page and wrote a poem which read, "Is what I'm called all that I am, but they never call and they never ask how I am. My name is the only thing I can claim as mine, but I do not want it. It's the least interesting thing about me, but they are not interested in knowing me." And the girl taped it to the refrigerator next to her brother's diploma, and her mother never read it because she was too drunk, and her friends never read it because they were all on Ozempic and didn't like the kitchen, and her boyfriend never read it because he was busy calling her pretty, and her father never read it because his job was very demanding. And she turned 21 and stole her mother's wine, and she turned 25 and married the boy, and she turned 35 and showed up drunk to the PTA meeting, and she turned 40 and found her daughter's lifeless body next to a journal, and she didn't read the first page because she was too busy screaming her daughter's name, Jane or Sophie or Sarah. It didn't matter what it was. Her name was the least interesting thing about her.